Gilgamesh went and took a bowl and he filled it with water. And with that water, he held it up high in the sky, praising the god of the sun, Shemesh. "Oh Shemesh, I pray for your guidance and your protection. I shall get this cedar for you, Shemesh. It is an offering and a blessing." And he stood there until the water dried, and until the tears turned to salt upon his cheek. He felt a hot hand press upon his crown, and he knew that he had got the blessing of Shemesh. So they went to the blacksmiths, and they received beautiful and large swords and axes. And though the sword was as big and heavy as a full-grown man, Gilgamesh handled it like it was a newborn. They set off on their trek. What would have normally taken a normal man 3 weeks took them nearly just a few days. The whole while, Enkidu finding offerings of water for Gilgamesh to give. This water, this precious life force, great sacrifice for God. They approached the cedar forest, this beautiful green forest surrounding a large mountaintop. Oh, the forest, so dense, green upon green. All you can smell and all you can taste is cedar. It's beautiful. But they entered with a slight form of terror, knowing the beast and the guardian within it. Enkidu said, "Uawa is not to be toyed with. When a fox stamps its paw 60 leagues away, Uawa can hear it. His breath is fire." Matter not. And they continued. Along their trek, they rested for the night. They slept with hand in hand to wake each other up in case of an alarming event or danger. In the middle of the night, Enkidu felt his hand being crushed, and he woke to see Gilgamesh sitting up. "Was it you? Was it a dream that a god just walked through?" "Oh, Enkidu, I had a dream. I had a dream. It was terrifying. I've had dreams before. I had a dream that there was a meteor that landed on the city, right on the town's ground. I was drawn to this meteor, like drawn to a woman. I went to pick it up, and it was so heavy, I could barely handle it. People were so impressed. And I told my mother about this, and she said that I was to get a wife. Well, I had another dream after that. I told her that again, on the ground, I found something. I found an axe. I had to have this axe. Something drew me to this axe. So I picked it up, and I put it in my belt, and I carried it with me everywhere that I went. And then my mother said that I was to have a companion, that I was to have a best friend. And that is you, Enkidu. But the dream that I had just now, no, I had a terrible dream. The bull, the size of 20 bulls stacked up upon each other. A monstrous bull. It was charging right at you. There was nothing I could do. Enkidu said, "That is nothing what Uawa looks like. Uawa has a lion's head and a lizard's tail. And he wears 7 garments, each of the different colors of the rainbow. I know not of what you dream of. But rest well. Tomorrow we shall reign victorious." The next day, they approached a great wall of cedar trees. And behind the cedar trees was the great mountain that Uawa rested in. And they heard from the mountain tops this lion-headed, lizard-tailed monster. As it stood, the cedar trees looked like grass amongst its feet. It was so large it blotted out the sun. And the two heroes looked like ants compared to this thing. Shemesh saw this. Shemesh saw his two avatars in perilous danger, and he summoned the 7 winds to stop Uawa. And as he called each wind, Uawa gathered a new garment, each color of the rainbow, to ward off magically the winds that were attacking him and constraining him. And by the time he got to the 7th garment, he looked like a beautiful monster, colors glistening, and although he was terrified, he was still a sight to behold. The whole while, the two had been chopping and chopping and chopping at these trees, making their way through. And by the time the 7th garment was donned, they stood there in front of the monster. Uawa in terror said, "Gilgamesh, stop! I will cut down the tree, and I will build you your gates. If you let me live, I will be your guardian of the cedar forest." Enkidu said, "He is not to be trusted. You can't trust him." And with that, Gilgamesh plunged his axe into the beast's head, slaying him forever. And he cut down the largest cedar tree, formed it into these large gates, and floated it down the river. When they got back to town, the people rejoiced. They were so happy to see their king successful. They were crying out. For one, yes, one was very special. Beautiful, beautiful woman approached Gilgamesh. It was Ishtar, the goddess of love. She came to Gilgamesh and she said, "Gilgamesh, you have slain Uawa. You are truly strong. You are a king. Come, be with me. I shall give you the greatest house. It kisses your feet as you walk out. I will give you a golden chariot, pulled not by bulls, but by storm beasts. Come, Gilgamesh, take me. Give me your seed. Give me your semen." With that, Gilgamesh shook his head and said, "I would rather play a game of dice with a handful of scorpions than be with you. You are the door that lets the cold in. You are the shoe that never fits. No, I've heard what you've done to your lovers. That songbird that sang such a sweet song for you. Yes, now he lays on the chorus floor, crying, crying in pain. And that gardener, I think it was Petunias for you, and wrote those poems. Yes, now he lays in the underworld, crying out for you. No, I would rather not have to be with you." And with that, he whisked himself off. And the rage of Ishtar, a woman's scorn, is not to be forgotten. For she went to her father, Anu the Creator, and she pled for him to give her the bowl of the heavens to kill Gilgamesh. Though Anu protested, she said that he had scorned her name and sullied her, that this was not worth it, this was justified. And Anu sadly said, "All right, but it's a shame to know that someone should die for telling the truth."